Hey guys, John Loxley here, back with a new review, little rambling mini review. With me is Manny. He's making biscuits on my neck. So this is Avernum Escape from the Pit, um, released back in 2012 by Spiderweb Software, who is a solo dev. Technically not, because I think his wife does some of the art as well. But yeah, released in 2012 by a solo dev for currently $10. He likes to reduce the price of his older games over time, which is nice. But if you wait for it to go on sale, $3 typically. But I only did one of the main quests and I got 60 hours. So honestly, probably $10 is a fair price. So I'm going to try and keep this a little bit on the shorter side. I do like to ramble. So this is a isometric party-based RPG with tactical elements. It's an indie game. Not that that matters a whole lot, but you are so adorable. Now, do I recommend it? Yes. Who do I recommend it to? I would say anyone that likes immersive games or games with where you can get involved in the world, and RPGs, right? We can kind of, there we go. You can kind of go through some of these. I wish I could make it bigger and it would just auto scroll like it does when they're small, but I guess it doesn't do that. So let's do some of the negatives first, then we'll hit some of the positives, and then we'll be done. So first, negative. Graphics. I don't have a problem with it. I find it very nostalgic, but a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, oh, it looks like crap, right? Because they're very small, very simple, low poly. They're all sprite based. And some people are just going to look at it and be like, yeah, I can't do this. Me personally, like I said, I find it nostalgic and I don't mind. It's adorable and it's functional, and you'll get used to it after a bit. And if you're one of those people that needs high graphical fidelity, photorealism, whatever, you're just not going to like this game. You'll probably never get past it. Negative number 2, I would say, actually is the resolution, kind of going in with the controls as well. Let me just touch on the controls first. They're awkward. This was designed when he was still putting these games on tablets, when tablets were more of a thing. And so it was designed to be played on a tablet. And by the way, just as a tangent, if you do have a tablet and these still work on them, I bet it's phenomenal. I bet these games are outstanding on tablets. But since they were released on tablet as well, like the iStore, Apple Store, whatever it is, you're going to lay down now. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Since they were designed with tablet controls also in mind, it makes the keyboard and mouse controls just awkward in general. All the controls are kind of awkward. You could use full keyboard and mouse, or just mouse, and none of it really feels great. It's not so bad that it makes the games a problem, but it just never gelled for me. It just never felt like it clicked, even after 60 hours. It was always kind of awkward. Now, there are key bindings, and you could rebind the keys, and I never did that. Maybe I should have. Maybe that would have made a difference, but I didn't do it. None of these flaws, I think, are game breaking, or none of them result in a negative review. Like I said, I'm going to review the game, or recommend the game. So just something to be considered. These are all minor annoyances, effectively. And as far as back with the controls and the resolution, I would have really liked a zoom in, zoom out button. Like, use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. That would have been fantastic, especially because with tablet, I don't have a tablet, but I imagine you could do the thing like with a smartphone where you touch 2 points and then stretch to make it bigger, or move the 2 points closer together to make it smaller. Maybe tablets can't do that. I don't know. But the resolution's a huge deal, actually. I have a normal size monitor, but for people with big monitors that want big resolutions, it's not gonna work. You need a small resolution because it zooms everything out on the bigger resolutions, including the text, including all the boxes. And so it just shows you the map, but everything is just really, really small. And I mean, you could kind of tell your characters are already very tiny, and you need to be able to see stuff on the ground that you could, because you could pick up stuff from the ground, and you need to be able to see it. And when it's zoomed out, you're just not going to be able to. I was trying to think of more negatives. I can't really. Now, positives. This game is very immersive. It actually reminds me a lot of Morrowind. As I was walking around, I wanted to learn about the world. I wanted to get involved. I wanted to get invested. I wanted to talk to everybody. And it actually reminds me a lot of Morrowind from like an isometric perspective, except there's no main quest. There is, but it's not a main quest in the same way as Morrowind, where this one focal quest touches everything. It touches all aspects of the world. You hear about it in rumors and whispers from the very beginning, and then it culminates with the, kind of an underwhelming boss battle at the end. That's Morrowind. Here, it's basically evil wizard. Go kill evil wizard. Why? Because they're evil. And you don't even really get that until maybe halfway or 3/4 of the way through the game. There are threats, and that's the thing. The world building is solid because you really feel it. All these people are, they're constantly in danger. They're starving. They're tired and hungry. They're weak. They're outnumbered. And it's a problem, but the big bad doesn't appear until basically the end of the game. And to be fair, they don't really need to appear because the world itself is so threatening. But it's just, if you're looking for like a JRPG where there's a narrative through line from the beginning all the way to the end, you're not going to have it. You just won't. This is more like it's a retro game. It's retro. It's a throwback to old, all those old CRPGs where it's like, evil person is evil, go kill evil person. That's what you do. But it's all about exploring the world, and it does a really good job as far as that goes. It's also very, not accessible, that's the wrong word, but it's very forgiving, I would say, for, I really wish you could see some of the, like there's a picture of the skill trees or something like that, but it's really hard, from my understanding. It seems like it's really hard to screw up your build. A lot of these CRPGs are, especially the old school ones, are incredibly brutal. You make one mistake or you don't play exactly how the game wants you to play, and you're done. You might have to restart the whole game and rebuild all your characters and all that. Here, it seems like you don't really have to do that. I won't really go into it too much, but it's basically it controls how powerful your characters can become, how much damage. It restricts that. And so it seems like, to me, it's more about just making your characters tougher, more resistant to damage. That seems to be the key, and that's what the enemies do as well. And so as a result of that, the power curve is actually really, really nice. It always feels challenging, and sometimes when you go into an area you're not supposed to go yet, it'll just crush you. But it never feels like you outpace the game. At least not to me. I only played on easy. I played on easy. I didn't play on torment or whatever the hardest difficulty is. So it probably gets really brutal on the harder difficulties. But yeah, it was challenging, but it wasn't incredibly painful. And it seems like you could have a lot of viable builds. You don't necessarily need to. You could probably dual class and stuff like that. I didn't, but you probably could. Yeah, immersion, world building feels forgiving-ish. Power curve is good. There are more positives, but I don't want to go into this. It's almost been 10 minutes long, and the previous time I recorded this, it was like 20 something, almost 30 minutes of just me, kind of rambling, but gushing about it as well. And I don't want to do that. There's a lot of stuff in this game. All the little quests matter, even the ones where where they're like, if you bring me whatever of this item that you find, you know, Fallout games do this, Fallout 3 and New Vegas and stuff. They're like, bring me glue, you know, and instead of the 5 caps that you get, I'll give you 10. There's quests like that in here, but I didn't mind them. It actually feels meaningful because you're bringing them food, for example, and everybody's starving. And so it actually feels like you're doing something. It's not just, oh, let me find this so I can get whatever. It's like you're actually attempting to help, you know? So it's good. It's, you know, it's kind of interesting too, because there's some nuance, right? Like you're an adventurer, but you're basically a mercenary. And so people don't automatically hail you as a hero. They're like, well, I mean, you know, you're going to do whatever you need to do to survive, and you're fighting these monsters. So maybe you're not super trustworthy. You know, maybe you'll get a quest to steal stuff, and we know about people like you. And, you know, so it's interesting, right? Because they kind of know that you're not necessarily good. Maybe you are, but you have to prove it. You know, it's like you're not just immediately hailed as a hero. And even when you are, people still don't, even when your reputation's still really good, people don't necessarily trust you immediately. So there's a little bit of nuance. Like I said, it feels like the world is pretty real, which is good. So that is it for today. That's my little rambling mini review. Hopefully you guys liked it. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me hear them. I do try and read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed whatever videos you've watched. And that's it for today. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.